Hello. Welcome to Jarviskjir, Rock of the North. I have to do, a little thing before we start. I guess. Because someone got here late. Yeah, 1 sec. Alright. Now we're really live. Welcome to Jarviskjir, Rock of the North. Near the end of chapter 1. Which I say as if there's going to be more chapters, which is assuming you don't wipe soon, for any reason. You nearly wiped last week, to be fair. So, yeah. So, why don't we get right on it? Last week you visited Snow's people. Snow's adoptive people, because Snow is a giant blood, but he was adopted by the Planavar, who are the descendants of forest giants, and they live perfectly in harmony with nature, and it's a community of like sleepy surfer dudes in the forest, basically. Just living their happy little lives. You haven't spent too much time with them. You got the down low from the smoke teller, who basically told you all about the ring and cleared some things up because it's kind of part of your generational history as giants. The main thing being that the ring was not made by giants, it was made by dragons to imprison the primordials, who seemingly were some kind of ancient spirit gone rogue, right? And if the ring were to be fully reactivated, they would re-enter this realm and essentially terraform it back to whatever state they want it to be. The giants actually attempted to use this ring themselves and decided, nope, too fucked up, because they did essentially what happened now. They just did it with the air stone instead of the earth stone. So the ring is kind of a time bomb right now. It's not like the ring's going to open fully, but it's going to have some kind of overload before long, which will have dire consequences. So the smoke teller encouraged that you destroy it, throw it into the fire. But we'll see what will actually happen. But at first, of course, you can't get the aid of the Planavar druids of the Jotunskogr. Snow is not a man. And Snow and also Peep basically had to go through a rite of passage to become adults. Usually that would be climbing the Virgin Mountain, but this is an exception. Tracking down and destroying the rogue sort of temple guardian, which appeared to be a giant statue golem that every time you broke it apart, those separate parts would fight back over and over and over and over until you were fighting tiny little dolls, basically, that completely overwhelmed you guys, but you did defeat them all in the end. And that's pretty much where we start off today's session, with the Golem Guardian down, and you guys battered and bruised.
I now understand why Chucky is scary.
Yeah.
Dolls kept blowing up on us.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I assume we're grabbing parts of this thing to bring back as proof and then heading back to your people, yes?
Yep. Snowwood confirmed. Yeah. I don't know what they have that we could bring as proof, but
well, it's got all these little... Every element, when it snapped apart, was a fully fledged golem. Like, it basically, it's called a fractal golem. So every element had like a head and arms. So you could take one of the heads, essentially, and bring it back. Or whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
They'll probably know, your people know the forest very well. They'll probably know that this thing has been quelled, but...
Yeah, we'll take
You always want a reward, a trinket.
Yeah.
Trinkets and baubles paid for in blood.
Yeah.
Literally.
Mm-hmm. We ain't talk about no figurative blood here. Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
Okay.
we would just... how far back was it? Like, it was only like an hour or two? Or on
Yeah, it
foot,
wasn't
something like
far
Okay.
You can head back quite quickly if you want to.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's better than trying to rest out here in the forest.
Okay. With the parts of the golem in, you know, arms or something, you can head back to the Planavar village, where there is a little bit of excitement at you guys returning, because, like, you also have clearly gone through a fight. You know, you're battered and bruised, and even the Pegasus is limping. Like,
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but he's got more health than most of us do at the moment because Sabriel healed him. He's got. He's better off than we are.
he's on
Forgot that he went
17
down.
HP, which is more than everyone else in the party.
Yeah, he went down. That was a little worrisome.
Yeah.
What would Sabriel have done if he had died?
Snow might be joining the horse at that point.
Oh, jeez.
When you return to the Planavar village, there is, you know, it starts off in that kind of rumor spreading through the village, because your people aren't very secretive. They're not like trying to keep it quiet, and this would be the same. It's higher, but it was the same sort of thing if you returned like after slaying a big example from your history, Snow, fighting the hobgoblin attack on the forest. It's similar to that, where it's like, oh, did they really do it? Oh, they did it. Like the people talking in the kind of open village, because, you know, it's all this kind of singular thoroughfare essentially, with the story taking up and people getting more and more excited about it, and kind of gathering around you. Not just the Planavar being excited, but the walking routes being kind of, they could just tell us something happy's going on, you know, and the happy little guys are happy. You can head through the village to where the smoke teller would be, you know, still adorned in their like drapery and robes and jingle jangly like ceramic jewelry and things like that, and would kind of rise to their arms to the village like, Snowcorn has returned to us, a man. And there's like a cheer.
Snow's gonna hoist up Peep as on his shoulder.
And so is this little thing.
Yeah!
Yeah! And there's like cheering and hooting and hollering from the crowd. These are definitely a people that will do the like woo,
Valor
really
like
loudly.
joining them, fucking like, oh!
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ballard is definitely cheering along. Someone just became a man. That's important, you know. So it's a good kind of a big vibe happens, and you can tell, you know your people. This is gonna turn from like cheering to probably a party, especially because it's kind of evening time now. It's like late afternoon, the sun has already set, but it kind of takes a bit longer, especially because there's sort of bioluminescent plants and mushrooms around the village. When that like kind of initial cheering is going down, but people are still, like, you could tell people are just getting ready to dance and drink and eat heartily. There will be someone, it would be Zor, who is the sort of chief's son, be like, our people we'll fight with you if you need us. And we'll give you like a pat on the shoulder. And then after that, the village blacksmith will kind of wave you over, Snow. They have their own like sort of building. Again, it's open. There's no like full walls, but there's this whole blacksmithing apparatus which is relatively primitive compared to like what you've seen in the Lendr blacksmith hall and the Sun Elven blacksmith hall, but it's also more deliberately primitive. It's basically just wooden slats for molding where they'd pour the metal in, and it's almost all designed for the building of axes, because every Planavar has like a ritual axe that's a weapon and tool, all of those sorts of things. The blacksmith is a a respected member of the community. He's a fairly old male with a kind of fairly short beard. It's like tied in the middle. and all this sort of gear amongst them, and sitting on their table is a really old-looking walking route. It's like whole, like outer layer of kind of like the onion skin sort of material they're made out of is like kind of sagging. Their little eyes are like covered. They've got a whole variety of plant life growing on them. A lot of it's kind of oranged with time, but also there's like mushrooms and things growing. I mean, these are not incredibly long-lived creatures, but even it has like the energy of like a little tiny grandma sitting on the desk. And the blacksmith will call you over. He won't say anything right away, but he'll kind of wave you over with a paw.
Yeah. Snow will go over it. What's his name? I'm assuming I would know the name.
Yeah, his name is Verom.
Okay, Verom. Got it.
Yeah.
Snow would go over. I just give him like a nod. Snow has had a big smile on his face this whole time. And now that celebration has started.
It's ceremonial and right for every grown planavar in our forest to wield an axe. It's what links us all together. But you're not exactly one of us. That's why you have that sword. It's a little different, but still the same in ways. It's time, if you're going to be leading a great number of our people, if you're going to be saving the world or some bullshit, that you get the gift of our people. You want it on your sword or an axe? He says, like, he's kind of prepares a couple of the slats on the table for some kind of enchantment.
Okay, would Snow know exactly what's going to happen with it?
He's going to empower a weapon. It's just, do you want your sword empowered or do you want an axe? It would be a battle axe, a great axe, a D12 sort of thing. Basically, how attached are you to the weapon you've had this whole time? Or do you want a new one?
Yeah. Well, I also have, like... Snow does feel like he wants to include Peep.
Yeah, I imagine you're here on your own. But if anyone else... You want to call anyone else over, because it's quite busy.
Yeah, Snow feels like, since Peep also earned his manhood, that he should... also have the reward. I guess Snow would ask the guy, be like, is there any way that I could share the bounty?
That's not happened for a long time. Not since we, there used to be a pair of warriors who, the bounty was... It can't be shared over 2 axes. Full size. But, smaller? A pair? Yeah, I can do that.
Snow would not. He'd be like, that would be, to commemorate this occasion. I would appreciate it.
Now be clear, this is not something that every man gets to wield. We are choosing you. Don't get all sentimental on me. It's just what I think you deserve. And he is, rattling around his whole apparatus as well. Not just me. Will you go and get Peep and bring Peep over?
Yeah. Yeah, Snow would be like Peep. You go and get Peep and be like, Peep. We are both gonna receive a gift from my people as well.
I thought this was meant to be a thing for you. I mean, I know I kind of took part and kind of became a man, but this is your thing, right?
The plan of our open to any who who are in search of companionship. They took me in, and I know you have your family, and hopefully we can find them too, but who says you can't have more?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's do it.
The blacksmith Veron takes an axe, like a two-headed axe, and puts it on the desk, and will kind of stand and run his finger kind of above it, like a couple inches above it in the middle, and it will, like the wood will split, and it will split down the middle so that the two-headed axe basically becomes two single-headed axes, right? And then we'll start what is kind of a bit of a blacksmithing process, but also very much a ritual. He starts speaking in Druidic, and the wood where it splits forges and refits, and it will actually refit so that the handle is smaller on one, obviously, so that it fits Peep and Snow. And he will say in common, like, and the forest will give you their share of this bounty, and will kind of affectionately rustle the leaves of the old walking route on the table, and then will kind of grasp his hand above it and close it, and you see the life force leave the old walking route. It's quite slowly, because it's quite an old thing, and then pour into the pair of axes, and the old root creature will basically fade away almost into nothing but like mulch. And then that essence will pour into the two axes, making the wood very much alive, and the metal as well almost. You see as it builds, these autumnal leaves build up around the metal in like a flurry, and then disappear, and again just kind of disintegrate away. And he will he'll sit back down quite tiredly and just turn the apparatus. It has like a wheel so that the pair of axes are revealed to you. There is a there's not like a smoke or anything, but there's a very strong, like, organic, mulchy and leafy forest smell that comes off the pair of battle axes.
Yeah. I
Wow,
guess.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Take
So
'em.
just be-
They're for you.
Yeah.
Wielded
Still
together.
trying to- Yeah.
It's one of those things where, I say it all the time, but there's a feeling of magic upon these weapons. That is small, but feels like something that could grow. Like the weapons do have a life of their own. Both of them are going to be +1 battle axes.
Okay. Nice.
So, wielded in one or two hands. So,
Yeah.
end up being, like, lesser than your main weapons, but,
Yeah.
useful.
But to be fair though, like, well, I don't know how magic items work in the setting, but like, I assume that like they're more resistant to like breaking and stuff. So like my greatsword is normal, so it could potentially, if there's like some big enemy or something, my greatsword might just snap eventually.
Yeah.
Whereas the battle axe, I mean, eventually it might snap too, but it has magic kind of protecting it a bit, right? Is that the like? Does that? Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it depends on how the enchantment specifically works. This is very much more of a living weapon thing. You kind of get the impression that if you snap this, it will probably fix itself over time.
Okay. Yeah. Snow would just basically say some sort of like small prayer of thanks.
Okay.
Peep's just enamored, just like holding it, like, it's not even, it's not even heavy.
The burden can be heavy, but the axe never is. At that point, like, some, I would say fair, but no one in the plan of our village is fair. Everyone is chunky and strong and powerful. But someone will kind of pull Snow aside to dance, because at this point, you know, drums have been laid out and a fire has been lit in front of the temple.
Okay.
It's just a little time for celebration. Unless, of course, you guys want to rush away
No, I
and
think
not spend the night here.
I think during the celebrations, though, Snow does have his mind on like the upcoming struggles, and so he would probably Snow would like celebrate, but as he's passing by members of the party and also Balord and also like the chieftain's son, what was his name? It was
Zor.
Zor, yeah.
With an X.
Yeah. So he would as he like is just kind of hanging out and socializing, he would tell each of them that he thinks that there should be like a war council with the leadership, you know, after the celebration is done, or maybe in the morning.
Okay.
And
Sabrel's mentally like, yeah, we left half of it behind, but that's fine.
but yeah, so he would like Snow would basically say we should probably have a council, since you know the celebration is a good after the celebration when everyone's here, that's a good time probably. And yeah, other than that, Snow would be celebrating.
Okay. Anyone else want to do sort of anything while there's like this forest giant celebration happening?
Vincent is full on accepting the revels of the glorious battle before this event, and is thoroughly enjoying the hospitality of Snow's people. And when he gets alone, he'll sit down and just sort of have a quiet conversation with himself, or seemingly with himself. He's talking to his wife and just telling her about his day. But he's sitting in the corner with just the largest mug of ale he could find, and is just getting deep in it.
Yeah, there would be like honey mead flowing freely, I think.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Peep's definitely being a little party animal.
Yeah, literally a little animal.
Yep. Drinking, dancing, being careful not to get stepped on.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. That is appropriate. At one point when you know you're dancing and you do kind of have to like jump to avoid being stepped on, you and everyone else feel rumble and hear a noise. And a few seconds after that noise happens, this wave of amber energy rocks through the village. As it passes some of the trees, a layer of stone will actually form on the outside of them, on the bark. The Planavar are not affected by it, but actually a lot of the walking routes that kind of like hang out on the village edges turn to stone. Just get turned into little statues.
Where is my wife?
Your wife is probably like half dozing somewhere, probably with Vincent. Like, just to be quiet. This is very loud for a high elven noble.
I mean, Sabrel's not really participating either. So
this throws the celebrations into a, you know, if there was a record scratch, there would be one, as this sound and the wave kind of rocks through the area. And it does actually, because it hits the stone display of the ruin at the back of the village, and the stonework changes and shifts. It's still like a mosaic on these artworks, but like essentially the characters move like out of place.
It's went through like a Photoshop filter.
Yeah, kinda. It's almost like
it's
if you imagine
filter on what is it, the serial killer game where you have to escape from the killer.
That's like every video game ever.
No, there's like 4 player characters and then the one person playing the murderer.
Oh, you mean Dead by Daylight?
Yeah, that
Nice.
one. It's got a really shitty Photoshop filter on the entire background.
Oh. Yeah, it does.
Where's Ballard?
Oh, he be dancing.
Well, he's gonna stop. Sabriel's gonna go over to him.
Lute music stops. Full stop.
Yeah.
Ballard.
Sabriel, did you just feel... I've just felt something, like, run up my robes. What was that?
That could have been any number of things, Ballard, but,
That's what I was thinking.
uh,
I was thinking that I
Can you-
didn't know.
yes, that
But
was
knowing
the-
that I can think of an answer. It's a riddle.
It was the ring again, Ballard. That's why we're here. Can you? I'm all tapped out on my magic today because we had to fight a giant rock thing needlessly. Can you send a message and tell them that it has done the thing again? Just say that, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Are you sure? I don't know what you're talking about.
Cal Revell knows what I'm talking about. The ring has done the thing again with the earthquake, except for
Okay.
it's worse.
He will cast a sending spell of that to Caravale.
What do we so the party kind of like stops. I'm just then
Yeah.
like
People are kind of confused, and then suddenly a lot of people are very worried about the village companions turning to stone and the trees. Like, they've not turned completely, like, one side of them has turned to stone some places. It seems like it's a lot worse, of course, on the south side of the village.
Mm. Mm.
So
Gotta
the party
fight
kind of
the
stops as
rock.
people fix that.
Yeah,
Fight the rock with no spell slots. It's gonna be great.
I like how when you said that, Textify capitalized the Rock as if
Yeah.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
We're
It's
fighting
how
big
Dwayne
a
the
rumble.
Rock Johnson.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, and I don't know. I guess Snow would like just help out, and if it seems like that is going to kind of stop the party for good, which makes sense, then he would then just kind of like nod to the others in the party, like this would be a good time to meet and talk about our plans once everyone else like goes to bed and is not panicked or whatever.
Vincent's gonna walk around and just make sure that nobody's injured, and if they are, just try to get them
Yeah.
calm and relaxed. And I don't have any spells left, so he's just gonna try to medicine them back to
Yeah.
health.
No one in the village is harmed other than the walking roots, which are petrified.
Oh no!
Oh no.
All of them?
Yeah. Essentially,
Several's
Oh, no.
PTSD's gonna come back.
there's a few that were further away or like under things that were fine, but a large number of them have turned to stone. The Planavar are all like they're fine. Some people were kind of shocked, but
Poor things. It's like when they come out and see all their friends all petrified. It's kind of neat.
yeah,
Is it
the
like-
ones that are like coming out of their little holes are much sadder than the ones that are.
Is
turned
it
to
like
stone.
is it like the trees where it's like a covering, or is it fully as like as far as you can tell, like all the way through petrified?
Give me a nature check.
Oh, I'm not very good at this.
Yeah. No, people.
Oh, but
That's a good roll. You go and examine and maybe like chip away, and it seems like in some cases it's both. It depends on the age of the tree and the size. In many places, leaves have just turned to stone. You can pick them up. They're like very thin, like stone leaf. Very small trees have turned to stone completely. Others just have kind of like a layer of bark turn into stone.
Right. And so the same's kind of true for the little.
The walking routes are so small that they just
completely-
get fully turned to stone.
Well, at least none of the part of our heart.
holding
But-
just a little root.
Yeah, you can like
Wow.
just hold one, and it's just like it's got like a little sad face.
I'll
While
approach
we-
Snow and just say, I've done a check. I don't think anyone's injured around the back over here either. So
How's Alina?
More confused more than anything. Again, she's not hurt
Okay.
or anything. She was kind of off to the side. She is not a plant.
She's, she's an
What
elf. You might not be, might be a plant. Who knows?
What if she gives birth and now they're stone golem babies?
Why do you keep giving all the ideas?
I'm
Why are
sorry,
you
I'm
like
sorry.
this?
Come on.
It ain't good to be exposed to like earth elemental radiation during pregnancy.
I'm sorry.
Why are you like this?
So
That's why the doctor always gets behind that lead sheet.
So I will also go. I want to go to Ballord while after making sure that Vincent has been going around checking on stuff. Same with Sabriel. So while they're doing that, once Snow is make sure the people around him are okay, he's gonna go to Ballord and ask for a favor.
Well, Sabriel's with Ballard.
Sorry.
What possibly could you have of me of a favor of to you?
I apologize for not knowing magics, but I know that you all, motioning, nodding to Sabriel as well, possess the ability to contact each other over great distance.
Yes.
Would it be possible, Ballard, that I could send a message to someone that I know of?
We can only speak to those we know.
Is there no way to channel it through me?
No, I think that would be improbable. Can you not send a chipmunk or something with a message?
The problem is, the people that I wish to send this message to, I don't know if they even live on the ground.
Who are you trying to send a message to?
You're trying to send a message to the birds. There's great
Yeah.
rumors of eagles helping in times like this, which are completely pretend.
He looks at Sabriel and he's like, Sabriel, do you remember those cloud giants we met?
The ones that live with the dragon.
Well, I don't know if they actually live there. It seemed like they were guests, but either way, I want to see if maybe they would be willing to help us.
But he sighs for a second. He contemplates it like, God damn it. Turns to Ballard. I know the dragon that they were with before. But I can't send the message myself.
If they're working with this ring, and we are amassing an army to assault. If it was made by dragons, do you really think it's wise to be bringing the allies of dragons against it?
You have a point. Though I don't think she particularly cares about much of anything. Other than her own appearance as dragons tend to do. My eye itches really bad. Sorry.
Sabriel got
It
like a
just-
little bit of stone in their eye.
Well, I have really long eyelashes, and so they get tangled. like I have that problem. My eyelashes tangle with themselves. and
Too
it itches.
fabulous.
Yeah.
And-
Snow would Snow would be like, I did win an arm wrestling match against the Cloud Giants.
I mean, what? Who now in the
Respect
talks of
that.
military strategy? We have Sun Elves coming from the south, and we have Planivar here in the north, with our target being in the middle to the west. Yes?
Yes.
Did
Yes.
Cal Ravel answer you back, by the by?
Oh, yes, yeah. He said they are on the way. They are coming with a garden.
Okay.
So,
We have,
Birds are screaming.
do we have time to ride back through Lendr on the way?
My house my house can take us, but how fast is it, Ollie?
it would
To get
probably
from-
be faster to actually just, like, ride to Lendr than to fly and then have to deal with people being like, there's a flying castle, there's a flying tower, blah, blah, blah. Like, you can ride there in less than a day. You know, if you rode overnight, you'd be there by morning. If you rode and then camped, and then, you know, you'd be there mid-morning.
We may can obtain some of the dragon's aid yet if the shield is completed.
Yeah.
This is true.
The other thing is like how long? I guess we didn't ask how long till the Elven army gets there. The Elven forces.
As fast as they can.
Few days, given because it took us a few days.
Yeah. Well, you're flying though. Are they also flying?
They are flying, yeah. One
They
way
might
or
just
another.
not be going like full Tokyo drift.
Well,
Like,
Ballard is
next
the one who
whole time.
controls where the city goes.
So
Ballard
Ballard
is
is Tokyo
here.
drifting the city from
So
all
Ballard's
the way
going-
up here.
From afar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't even
He's got
see
his
where they're
Nintendo
going.
Switch, Tokyo drifting the Sun Elf thing.
He can't even see where they are. He's just gonna crash them into a mountain or
He's
something.
Mario Karting the city. They're on the rainbow.
Literal Rainbow Road.
He's
Yeah,
just,
so you
like,
could definitely
splash-
afford.
He's just Splash Mountain careening the city through like through clouds, rain clouds.
Can
You
gotta be careful about that.
Ollie, can Grim jump off the island when they get into the battle? No, listen. On his bear, like Bayorn in the Battle of Five Armies, when he gets dropped from the eagle, there's just this giant skeletal bear just skydiving down into the middle of the
Grim is. Grim would not jump off a flying city. He would die.
No,
He has way better survival instincts than that.
Not if he's got
He's-
Featherfall prepared.
He'll be fine. Yeah.
He'll live.
That's
lie
way too
to him-
practical for Grim.
We'll lie to him and
That
tell
is
him that
fair.
we put Featherfall on him, but we didn't. Oh no.
It wouldn't be the first time that's fucking happened on this show, and it's still the other time that happened is still the most evil deed a player has ever done.
That is so funny.
So maybe not.
Ollie's
so
got
you
me
have-
over here in my chair doing the bird.
I told you you'd do it. I told you you'd do it too earlier. So you have days. You have 3 days probably. Bear in mind, you aren't even at the site of the battle yet, and it would be at least a day of travel there from anywhence.
Yeah.
Jotunskogr and Lendr, like it's side by side, so you could go to Lendr, you know, overnight or the next morning, either way, and then probably from there head to the battle site, and that will probably be all the time you have.
And then
Unless you want to race
they'll
it.
just meet us there at the ring.
Yeah.
On that note, then he'll look at Snow real quick. If we travel to Lendr, I can send a message to the Dragoness tomorrow. I can't do anything tonight, but I can ask her potentially if she'd be willing to send her friends our way and just leave her behind and not have the dragon there. Though if a dragon is what made it, it might be a good idea to actually have a dragon there.
I say Snow would be like, I guess
What did
here's
the
the thing, right?
ancestors say?
So like, here's the thing. Snow is like he's of average intelligence and average charisma, but he is actually decently wise. And so I feel like he would kind of. Okay, so I'm trying to think like what do I think is wise though? Oh God. So okay, I think he got a decent read on the dragon, and he's gonna say separately. He's gonna be like, I don't think that we should actually ask for her aid, because from what we saw, she seems like a very, I don't know if this is a word that Snow would use, but he would say like very transactional individual.
I don't think that's a word Snow would use, but yeah.
But he would do something that.
There's a word in Giant that is much more simple for that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, but yeah, he would basically say, yeah, she's a very.
She's
I don't
very
think-
Fae-like in that
Yeah.
regard.
I don't think we should necessarily ask for her aid, but rather let her know that we are going to face the threat that keeps affecting the rocks. She lives in a mountain. She's probably interested in what is going on.
I'll do it tomorrow. We can discuss what we would like to properly say to her
Okay.
then. There's not much point in
Do I get
figuring
to-
it out right now when I am exhausted magically.
Yo, does
Fairly
Snow get to
impossible
compose a message?
to determine what's in a dragon's heart, much less its mind.
Dragons and elves were like cats, so that is a correct
We
statement.
may be inviting turmoil into our ranks. If she gets there and sees what this thing is and the power it produces, she may just as well decide she wants it. And now we're dealing with the stone and a dragon who wants a thing.
That is why that young man over there, Valord will point to the ancient smoke teller, warned that the ring must be destroyed. For if it's buried again, it'll only happen again. We just remove its crystal and hide it away. It will happen again. That's why I wanted it destroyed. We already have allies that can be trusted in this. And in these wars, our lives as celestial elves have already been fractured once by putting our trust in those that should never have been trusted. So, we should act in this with those we already have on our side, with our full hearts. Your druids of the forest, and our mightiest of crusaders. Bear in mind there'll only be so many that can flood a battlefield at once. They're not taking the whole city, only a garden. It is like a barracks of sort, only much more pretty and able to tend to the wounded.
Hmm. Snow would look at the others, like, to see if, like, what do they think? Is it a good idea to involve?
After thinking about it, several, yeah, he's like, if we even ask her for the giants or tell her what's going on, she probably will get interested and go. So it might be best to just not.
There is a possibility she'll show up anyway. She may know things already.
If she shows up, then we will deal with it. Then I feel like is probably the best option.
Okay. Snow will, yeah, seeing it seems like the rest agree. He'll nod in agreement.
Now, what would be wise? I take Alina back to the tower. You lot ride for this lentil city, and I'll keep wifey safe.
Um,
He's learning
so,
common.
I'm assuming, are we gonna rest the night in the village and then ride, or?
Yes, I feel these old bones will not make it. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Sabriel is tapped magically, so he might go
I'm tapped
meditate in his
physically.
tower. More magically at the moment. He's got a few hit points left. He can take a hit. He can't do any magic right now.
Yeah. So I guess we'll rest and then like, you know, the plan of our gonna send their people to start going that way. We're gonna like rush over to Lendr and then go and meet up with them.
Yeah, basically.
We should ride at first light, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
At dawn.
Sabriel's gonna go back to the tower and do his 4 hours there because he also needs to tend to the horse. So
Sure.
and get his
Okay.
extra whatever supplies. Yeah. So he's gonna go back to the tower and rest.
When you and Alina and Ballard go back to the tower, you find under the ramp to the tower a single scared, shakingly scared little walking route. It's got like seed pods. They're kind of dry, and so when it shakes in fear, it kind of jingles a little.
Oh my god. Thought you
It
were
like
gonna say
peers
that, son.
around, like hoping that it isn't gonna get squished. It went to hide. From the
Sabriel
noise and
kneel down
scariness.
and pick it up. If it lets me pick it up, if it doesn't bite me.
I think it's too. You know when like an animal's like too scared to run away, so you can scoop it up. That's fine.
I
And then
got
it will.
bit by an onion.
I
Oh,
This onion's really gonna make you cry.
I'm gonna name it Shrek.
oh no.
I don't think
I was-
that's canon. It will eventually realize that the hands holding it are kind ones, and it will relax.
Ali, remind me, are there like hot springs or something in this village? Was that mentioned?
There are hot. I don't think I mentioned it, but there definitely are hot springs. They're actually, well, it's less natural hot springs and more volcanic vents. That's why this valley is hot. It's probably what you picked up on. So there's not like a spring you can lay in, but the Planivar use these vents to heat up a lot of water. So you can have a hot bath.
I will be doing that as
Yeah.
part of my rest.
I'm taking my new house plant inside to help calm it down. Whether or not it stays, we'll decide later, but it's going in the house now.
Yeah. Okay.
What's it with his other plants?
It like looks at the other plants like a kid meeting their new schoolmates, and you all can have your long rest, getting ready in the wee hours of dawn to travel.
Awesome.
Do we level up?
If you would have leveled up last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know.
No, you
I
ain't
knew that
leveling up
question was
mid-session.
coming too.
Yeah,
It's a
leveled up
fool's question.
decently recently too. I don't. it was
Bear
like-
in mind that in Jarviskjir, most mortals reach level 5 and then go no further, if ever at all. So
Yeah.
you are very strong in the setting
Yeah.
right now. Admittedly, you do deal with really powerful people, so it might not seem that, but amongst normal people, you are really powerful right now.
So, hit points wise, that counted as long rest overnight, correct?
Yes, you took a long rest when you long rested.
For my horse. Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot that sentence. That
Yeah.
part of the sentence
Oh, yeah.
was omitted and it didn't come out.
That's why it didn't make no damn sense. Yes, your horse could take a long rest too.
My brain just did not want to words. It was not happening.
I imagine you all want to get back together and just sort of start riding out.
Yes. I will take 10 minutes before I'll get up a little bit earlier and take 10 minutes before we leave to turn Pearl back into a horse.
Yeah.
And use that spell slot to do that.
Peep can
So-
hop up on the Pegasus with me if he wants.
Snow will just run He's
Yeah.
already pretty
Well,
fast.
it's one of those things. I doubt you're, especially in a forest, you're not going to be going max
Yeah.
tilt. It's
Well,
just, you know,
yeah,
riding so that you don't get exhausted, you know, yeah. Maybe you're going a little bit quick. Maybe there's a little, like, quiet Lord of the Rings music as you have a quiet travel montage. But, you know, it's not max tilt,
Yeah.
I bet. But one way or another, you can ride through the Jotunskogr to Lendr in the morning, where things in the hill town of Northman are relatively normal. There are, of course, like, when you would ride, you would notice that the little, like, kind of watchtowers that every town has, really, they are staffed by multiple people this time, and there's, like, a pair of shield maidens. In fact, actually, the woman that you've seen multiple times with the brown hair and who kept giving Peep candy, is actually there at, like, the entrance you're using through the forest. You would have passed Essim's shop on the way in as well, which isn't really... He has a hut that he brews potions in. But she will... in fact, he's there with her, let's say. With his pig. And so there is, like... I mean, you would all know, like, this is a sign of a town that is on alert. You know, it's not just regular guards out. This is, like, yellow alert, basically. And she will kind of wave you by as you're heading in. I don't know if you actually want to have any conversation with her or Essim, but they are about.
I think probably... I don't know. Snow would have definitely told the others on the way that he wants to briefly go and talk to, like, the family that's in charge of the place or whatever.
Yeah, Lendr. The Lendr clan.
Yeah, he wants to briefly go to their, like, forge hall.
Well, you're gonna go there anyway to get your armor.
That's true. Yeah, I guess that's the main place we're going. So, yeah.
Sure.
Snow would basically tell the others though that he thinks we should just tell them. We should definitely tell them what's going on, because even if they can't spare much, maybe they could spare something.
Ollie, I brought Sabrel's scale mail too. Can I, when we get to these people, can I ask them to make it into, like, a makeshift scale mail barding for Zeliath?
Yeah, that can be, like, the thing you're doing while Snow... My brain was, like, trying to combine snow and poetry into one word, and I had to fight it.
Snowytry.
I know, it wanted to say snowytry so much. I had to
Cue
stop.
the humans freaking out that there's a Pegasus now in there.
I think there's too much weird shit going on for them to really care. These people worship a unicorn, and Pegasus are completely fucking different. Don't get it twisted.
Oh no, I'm just saying winged horse. I forgot all about the unicorn.
Yeah, they would be surprised, but, you know, also right now the ground sometimes fights you. So, there is a lot going on. The rest of you can go into the clan hall of Lendr, the blacksmith hall, thick with smoke and, you know, the sound of hammers blowing as shields and swords are being made and spearheads and things. The younger folk in the clan would be, you know, honing spears and arrows and things like that, whereas the older folk are making mostly swords and shields. Griff would kind of notice you all come in. Not surprised to see you show up right after the ground starts moving again.
Been out seeking aid for that very problem.
Your crafts are made. If we're here to pick them all up.
Indeed.
He'll wave you over to where they've been storing it. Noticeably, there wouldn't be, like, an armor stand big enough for Snow's armor. So it would just be kind of, like, laying on the ground of this storeroom. But it's a very nice storeroom. And there would be other similar things. In fact, actually, right next to it would be a wicker basket filled with glass bottles of healing potions. But your armor is right beside. It is armor made for Snow's size. Let's be entirely honest, it's basically giant-sized of that, like, steel Nordic armor from Skyrim. You know, it's like runically carved metal armor with, like, fur padding and soft bits. I mean, we know what it would have been. I believe you wanted it to essentially be half plate. So it's designed to be free enough around the legs that you can run. Basically, I mean, you're a runner. You are a barbarian of the elk totem. So it's you know, much more top heavy and like ankle and shins and armor and stuff, because of course you're fighting things usually smaller than you. So a lot more armor around there while still loose enough for you to run.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Snow would like just be in awe of it, like, because he doesn't, you know, he's never worn armor before.
Yeah.
Oh,
it especially fits properly.
When we fight, he does put the helmet on, you know, for head safety. But but no, he's got the rest of it. And yeah, he's excited, and I'm excited because my AC goes up by 3.
That is actually pretty massive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it would be
huge.
nice. It would
Although
be nice.
don't expect me to stealth anywhere ever.
Yeah, it's loud, and it's not like chainmail loud, because this isn't one of those ones where it's like, oh, there's like chainmail in the padding underneath. No, because you're such a big person, it's just like, it's like plates of leather and plates of metal that kind of leaf together when you move, and makes quite a bit of sound, especially because of just how big it is. But
Yeah.
that's all good. And of course, there would also be Vincent's dragon scale shield ready here, which is, you know, the kind of fleshy part of the scale has been carved out, padded with leather, bolted in. The hold part for the shield has been designed to be very versatile, so you can, you know, use it whichever way is best fitting. But like the natural shape of it is, it's been kind of clipped, but it's still, you know, it's still a dragon scale. It's not like they made it into a circle or a square or anything. It's still this kind of jagged leaf shape that's quite big, but it because of just the fit and stuff, it kind of is a lot more natural to wield than just holding it in front of you.
I look to the party. Does anyone want this one before I hand it over?
What's he talking about?
The
His old
silver
shield.
dragon scale. Oh, the old shield.
No.
I
I
work
don't
best
think-
without a shield, I think.
Sabril. Yeah,
I will,
he's better without it.
Hand over the shield to the makers here. Do with this what you will. You can use it for materials or repurpose it.
If we're fighting the world, well then a spare shield will be useful.
Sabril's gonna look at him. While we're here, he pulls out his scale mail, the gold scale mail. Can you refit this for him? And he points out towards the Pegasus.
I can't, but someone will. He'll like start arranging people, and he will, like, as he's leaving, he'll turn and be like, "Oh, and those potions are for you. The herbalist prepared them. Imagine you'd probably need them." And they will just sort of leave.
There's no way.
go
How
forward.
much was it?
How many potions are there?
There are 4 potions of greater healing, which are kind of a thick, deep green, and then there are 4 regular potions of healing, which are a lot more. They're larger, less effective, more watery in
I
general.
just want to
Oh.
take one each.
Yeah,
One
one
each,
each
yeah.
works. Yeah. Even for like people who don't necessarily know if they'll use them, it's good in case. other
It's
people
useful
have
to
them.
know that everyone has one each right now.
Yeah. Exactly,
Vincent, this silver dragon scale shield will have some effects. It is not a +1 shield, but you will have advantage when wielding it on any dragon-related saving throws. So any dragon breaths, dragon wing attacks, things like that from dragons.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. And
So-
it was a white dragon scale, if I remember.
Silver.
correctly. Silver. Okay.
So the guy who's running this place, he doesn't run like the sort of militia guard force or anything, does he?
Well, with the Northman, the militia run itself.
Right,
He is so Griff, who you've been talking the whole time, kind of is essentially the like unofficial speaker for the clan, who kind of arranges everything for everyone. He's not technically even in charge of it because he's not the oldest, but he probably will be one day. When it comes to the militia or army or anything, actually, from what you found out, the people who would usually lead it are the Stone Guard, who don't live here. So the village is just kind of it's itself. You know, the shield maidens are guarding. Folks among the town who know how to use a bow or a sword are readying. It's not organized, which is kind of how the Northmen typically prefer it. When they do organize, it would be like the heroes in the Stone Guard who would kind of actually form a deliberate leadership or something.
Okay. I was thinking maybe it might be worth asking if they want to join up, but if it's that loose, they might not have. They might end up being more of a liability than anything.
Yeah, and they
Oh,
probably
nice.
don't have. They don't have like a platoon or anything to really spare without giving up the town, which they might, but it would be dangerous for them.
Probably best just to let them defend themselves, and we'll handle the big stuff.
Yeah.
If you looked into the Stone Guard when you were in an open firm, maybe you'd have Northman aid by now, but missed opportunities.
Yeah.
Why
Ah,
didn't
well.
we? Because I know we were going to, but why
You just
didn't we
didn't.
again?
You just
I
Okay.
did.
just forgot.
I think we forgot.
There was no reason.
Yeah.
Hey, we've had a lot on our plate.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
No, for sure.
True.
It's not a major plot
I
point
think
drop.
we got
It's,
distracted by the first earthquake. I think that's what it
That
was.
definitely was part of it. Yeah.
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 In that case, people probably also make a quick stop by Smart Mantle
Yeah.
Sure.
if they're in.
They are in. Smart Mantle is looking a lot less depressed, to put it simply. She looks like she's finally got some sleep, which is interesting. The rest of the town is either tense or excited, right? She looks rested. I won't say well rested, because at a certain point, there's no fixing it. But she kind of looks probably how you imagine she did probably before this big anxiety spike started in her life, which started because she was getting essentially omens of this happening from her warlock dealings. So, because I guess she now understands what's happening, she is happy as a bird. She's looking great. She's looking fine. She's looking fine, actually. With a good night's sleep and some hydration, she's a very... I mean, she was attractive
Hot.
before in a disaster way. Now she's attractive in a hot librarian way. But yeah, she would be around and she would be... Not surprised to see you running around right now.
Yeah. Kind of running around with everyone trying to get a few things together before we go and deal with it.
There would be a noise from up the hill as these Northmen are trying to fit this scale mail onto Zelius, who's not having it. So there's this Pegasus bleat noise up in the distance, and it's flailing.
Yeah, that's Sabrail's Pegasus.
Yeah, no, it's canon that the Pegasi The noises they make are not quite horse and not quite bird. They're somewhere in between.
Sabriel will be trying to calm
Yeah.
Pegasus down.
Yeah, I stopped by because, well, first of all, I'll show her the tail ring with the stone in it. I got this made.
Yeah, you do listen to advice.
I do, amazingly. But, I've tried a few ways of getting in touch with Micah, but
Like any relationship with a woman, you can't seem too eager, I suppose. You can't push too hard. You just need to wait for her to, I suppose, give what she's going to give. Oh, it's just all an innuendo. Oh well.
like, because I tried, like, praying, kind of, but I've never really done that, so I just sort of said
Speaking
things.
of Peep, your friend, Snow, where is he?
He's in the tent, I'm pretty sure, trying on his new armor.
Well, if he wants a little bit of vigor before this battle of yours, he is welcome to come by my shop.
Sure, I'll let him know. Peep has no idea what
The thing is, Snow wouldn't either, probably.
I don't know what she means.
Sabriel up on the hill. What? I hear fuckery.
Snow's gonna show up in the shop and be like, I heard you got some vigor for me. I don't know what that means, but
yeah.
let's have it.
Do you need like a dresser moved? Like, what's going on?
He comes up and says that to Snow while Sabriel's standing there, and Sabriel just stone faced like.
Yeah, like how does Pete phrase this? When Pete comes-
We'll see when Peep comes back. I guess actually, if that's like the only advice about shenanigans.
Do you have more like specific questions? Because really, it would just be, it'll happen when it happens, and she will say, like, you have no control over this now. It's in her hands.
I tried praying, and then I tried writing stuff, and then I got the idea to write down a thing in blood. Mine. I didn't kill anyone.
Not everything is blood. Not everything is blood. A lot of things are blood, but not everything is blood. You are
like a little,
dealing with a lady of dragons. And I don't see any dragons making deals in blood.
True. I don't know. I was just trying to get. I nearly got in trouble for it, but I mean.
Yeah. If you were making, everyone gets in trouble. If you did what? Don't write in blood. First of all, it makes that sort of thing is why shops like mine smell bad. Second, don't do it. It's weird. It's weird. It's you're putting a bad name for everyone who sold their soul. Really.
Well, like you're the only person I've told. No one else knows I've done this. I've kept it all, hush, quiet. Just like pinch the snout.
As he almost got caught by Cowerville.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He's getting warlock shamed.
You are dealing with a lady of dragons who is not really a dragon herself. I think what you can't go wrong with is offering your glory. Get in a battle, get in a fight, honor it to her. These entities, they, by their very nature, are dramatic.
Wait, so we had a fight yesterday with a big, like, rock golem thing that, well, it kept splitting into little versions of itself, then exploding, and then splitting again. Yeah. The last one nearly killed Sabriel and their Pegasus, but I jumped on it and got knocked like 10 feet in the air. So if I said that, is it a bit late now to say that could be for her?
Oh yeah, no, you've got to do it in a bit.
Ah, okay. that's
This magic you're trying to summon, it's all, at least for warlocks like us, it's all emotion. And in most cases, emotions are truest in the moment. Sometimes you have a memory that is so linked to this that you can call back on it. If you do have that moment where this power builds in you, you would probably be able to draw on that moment over and over and make it easier. But you need to have that first moment first. And what we did together was probably, they're probably not the kind of great, powerful entity to care about people writing summoning circles. They want, battles and gold and... They're a dragon. What do dragons want? You know better than me.
I did meet one. And she did just want things, shiny things, and cool stuff.
Fair enough.
Alright, okay. Alright. I'll keep it all in mind. I mean, we're about to go and destroy a big ring that might destroy the world, so if I say, just before we do it, like, hey, this is for you, that'll probably work.
Yeah, that'll probably work.
Yeah. Alright, perfect. Thank you very much. And I'll let Snow come around for Vigor. That was it. Alright, thank you. Head on out. Head back up. I'm assuming Snow's trying on the new armor.
Snow could be like leaving the hall with the new armor, like walking it around. You got to do that.
Yeah.
It's like new shoes.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
He's outside around where Sabril's like helping keep Zelius calm for the people.
This is why.
Snow, that armor looks awesome.
Thank you, Pete.
I was just talking to Smart Man about a couple things, and she said that if you wanted, you could visit her for some vigor. So I don't know if she just has like a potion or something, but like
My hearing's not so good. Did he say vinegar?
vigor.
Sabril's currently choking.
Vigor.
Like, so I don't know.
He just kind of walks away.
I don't know if like Snow would take it in a dirty way or anything. I don't know.
Sabril
That's up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll an insight check into myself.
Insight on Sabril choking on air.
You guys don't know that Sabriel's a dirty old man yet, so Sabriel choking could be for any reason ever.
But that's
Ballard
the thing,
around.
though,
No, Ballard's fine.
I don't know. I don't know if high insight means that he thinks it is innuendo, or if
I would assume you would know. Is my guess.
He's gonna be like, okay, so he'll be like, thank you, Peep. I will go see what this means.
No worries.
Sabril's just choking more.
She's really nice. I'm sure you'll have a good time.
Snow's looking at Peep and he's like, does Peep know what this might mean?
Vincent is like full on hiding behind Pearl, blushing, crying, laughing.
Oh, God.
Sabril's hugging Zelius' neck and just like laughing.
The old men are hiding behind their horses. That's how much they're amused.
I don't think Snow thinks that this is a dirty thing, but I also think he gets the innuendo that it could come across that way. So he's gonna go to the shop not knowing what to expect.
You enter the door. Smart Mantle is waiting there with drinking a strong cup of coffee.
Okay.
And the door's gonna close behind you.
Oh no.
And she's gonna come up and she's gonna like have to get you to lean down to smooch you, but you're gonna get smooched.
Okay.
How does Snow react to being kissed by the librarian warlock?
On the lips or the cheek? Because maybe it's just a greeting.
It would be as deep a kiss as she can get away with.
Like,
She's
I
trying to
don't.
mess up to your goodie basket, buddy. You
He
know
doesn't like they never really. They aren't close. Like they never talked much.
Nah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know though. I
Up to
don't know
you.
what Snow's reaction. He'd probably like let her kiss him, but he's not really gonna like go all in.
So there's the question: are you gonna go with her into the back room,
Oh god.
or nay?
Is that really what she wants? Is that?
Yeah, that's what she's getting at. She doesn't, she
Yeah,
wouldn't care if you don't, but you came here.
I didn't think that this was gonna go this way.
Y'all never asked about Smart Mantle's reputation. Before she got the big time anxiety, she liked the men.
I got.
You like mantling something?
I don't know. Is Snow? Is he popped his cherry yet? I don't even know. I don't think so.
Roll a dice.
No, this is up to you. No pressure. You don't have to dwell on it. I'm not going to give you a well-rested bonus, but she offering.
Yeah, he'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Snow will can rejoin the party after like 50 minutes or so.
Oh jeez. Yeah.
She's giving him quite the vigoring.
Sabrael's hyperventilating on his horse.
Yeah, because of course
Snow
Sabrael's an
rejoins.
elf, so Sabrael's still not calmed down after an hour. Still just as funny as it was
He's
an
just,
hour
like,
ago.
confused. Like,
Yeah, when Snow, well, actually, yeah. So when he leaves her shop, he would like be kind to her and be like,
Oh, yeah.
and be like, say that he like hopes he can see her again in the future.
Yeah, this is not a heartless lay, but it's also
Yeah.
not like a loving.
Yeah,
You've gone through the entire relationship path. It's okay. You got some stuff going on. This is a good time.
He
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
would go, and when he comes back to the party, he has like a small smile on his face.
so what was it she wanted? I don't know what I was like.
She invigorated him, and Sabrael's gonna get on his horse.
Ah.
and-
Like, Peep has like a look of realization, but like, but it's not what actually happened. Is what Peep's happened.
Just
Peep's happened.
know, Peep, that it was, I'm sure, glorious. And then Vincent's gonna follow after Sabrael.
All men are like,
Snow is just gonna like shrug. He's not gonna say anything.
Go off with them. People could be left. People
Don't
could be
worry,
left
we'll
thinking
tell
they
you when
know.
you're older.
Wait, just like, so have you been chosen as well?
Snow is like, wait, she chose you too?
No.
This is the best thing that could possibly have happened.
I didn't see that coming anywhere. Here's that, and here's me.
Well,
You did this always.
Smart Mantle didn't, but like, was it some? I mean, who was it?
He's so confused. He's like, wait, what do you mean?
Wait,
Peep, how old are you again?
I'm like 5.5.
What is that in?
I think I'm like 17 in human years.
Oh, okay.
But like, I mean, kind of like shows the tail ring. I mean, that's like this, you know?
Still doesn't know what to say.
Vincent will stop and interject in between this and just say, perhaps we let young Pete keep their innocence a little bit.
Yes. Yes, Peep, yeah.
It's too good. We can't take it away from you just yet.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is a great place for us to take a little break. For all of our souls. We'll be back in a few minutes. Oh. All right. Fresh with vigor, the party travels west towards the blasted lands around the ring, the primordial gate. Anything any of you all want to discuss as you're kind of like, it's a day's ride basically, to meet up at, you know, it's not even necessarily something that's necessarily been super discussed, but it's like, you know, a safe area before you get too close to the, you know, exposure zone, essentially.
We would have agreed on a point on the map, right?
Well, yeah, you have a vague one, but which is enough when your army's in a fairly flat area.
If we move as one unit and strike as one, I can protect us better.
Well, we're waiting on the army.
Well, right now you're
Both
traveling.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're expecting that the elves will be coming from the opposite direction that
What is going to come to pass, which maybe next week, maybe this week, is going to be mass combat. You're not going to be fighting on a regular battle map. It's going to be mass combat. Everything's going to be scaled up. Both the plan of our army is going to be coming from the north, and the Sun Elves are going to be coming from the south. But you will only have a certain amount of supplies, how many you can bring of each. So you can have 5 command points, I'm giving you right at the start. Sun Elves are 2, Plan of R are 1. So you can kind of decide, as the commanders of this battle, what arrangement you want, and we may do a reinforcement system. I don't know if you'll need it. But how this mass combat will work is that every single square will be 30 feet. And for the purposes of moving and attacking, it's the same. It's just scaled up. When you take the attack action, you are attacking for a full minute rather than 6 seconds, right? The other units on the battlefield will be units of 10 or so characters, whereas you guys will be commanders. You can move freely, you can join to units, you can command them, all that sort of thing, which will be useful because they will have morale. And you guys will be controlling these units. You will all have authority. You will be playing Total War. In fact, I will actually give you permissions on the units that you have right now.
That's exciting. I am stoked.
Yeah, I've used this system before. The morale is a little new, because it really fits for this one. This is like a really big battle against an eldritch force. So it's quite a clean, easy way to do it. And the same is for spells. You know, a spell is against like a whole unit. Ranges, obviously, are going work very differently in this because every square is 30 feet. So things like longbows actually end up being really useful in specific ways. Like when we used it last time, it was in the Everhold campaign. They had like elven scouts up in the mountains using the super long range, but with advantage because they were up in the mountains, so it kind of cancelled out, like stuff like that. Yeah, so it leads to a lot of neat things. I'm going to check a couple of things about how you guys work as commanders, because I haven't used this for a while, but essentially the basics are the same. And, you know, I don't know how many of you are actually going to be basically playing as commanders, you know, actually embedding yourselves in units, or whether you'll basically just be lone wolves. But as you should be able to see in your journals while I'm looking this up, the Sun Elf Crusaders and the Plan of Our War Druids have a bunch of shit. They're not just people who hit things. The Planavar have druid spells, and the Sun Elves are Crusaders with high stats and multi-attack. And they can do like a baby smite and a baby heal. It's not exactly the paladin stuff, just for simplicity. Alright, let me check this stuff, just so I have it right here. It's based off the Unearthed Arcana mass combat system, but I changed it to make more sense. As we do when we play D&D 5e. So basically, this is the time for you all to make up your strategy. You know, what you guys want to do. You don't necessarily know exactly what you're going to be facing as well. But you might as well have some kind of strategy going in.
Question, because I don't see it on the Sun Elves. Are they coming in on Pegasus or foot?
No, this will be on foot, just for basically
Okay.
ease. Honestly,
Okay.
just for
I
ease
just
of
wanna make
managing
sure.
everything.
So
Yeah. You will be the Fire
mentally,
Emblem commander flying above on your Pegasus. These guys will be on foot.
Okay, that's fine.
They're probably using their Pegasus to, like, land, but not so much actually fighting.
Sabriel's the legendary lord.
Yeah, it is, exactly. Is this the button I want? The files.
Sabriel's Imric on his dragon.
Yeah, basically.
Fucking Imric.
My
Okay.
thoughts are, you said 5 points and elves are 2.
Elves are 2, druids are 1.
My thoughts are 2 elves, 1 druid. We have 3 people that are commanding them, and 1 that's a floater. It just kind of goes and helps who needs it the most at the time.
So, related to that,
Be the floater.
you guys are solos. Both Planivar and Sun Elves are regular soldiers. There are also skirmishers, which don't matter for this battle because you don't have any. They basically just are a lot more free flow. But because they're not really going to be relevant in this fight, I'm not going to bother about it. You guys as commanders can either be just running around, or you can join 2 units. When you guys can go through units, but you can't end any unit unless you join them. You join them as a action, I believe. And you actually have a few command abilities, just in general, as commanders. You know, Peep and Snow, maybe less literally, but, you know, just as heroes, you could rally certain things. Let me check things. You technically take up the same space as a whole square, you know, but they're just 30-foot squares. And there's a whole mechanic that I don't use in this. You can make an army. You can make basically a charisma check to try and give them advantage on saving throws. You can make a check to incite them to get advantage on attack rolls. And you can rally them for morale, which is there's a morale tooltip. Basically, when a unit is at half health, they will maybe lose morale. And if you are with them, they will rally quicker.
I think, as we're traveling, Snow we'd be discussing this. So, like, Snow would think that it might be good if we had, like, if we're approaching from the 2 different directions with the 2 forces, if we storm up the hill, the mountain where the ring is, whatever, big mound from both sides, you know. And maybe have us be split up on both of those sides. I don't know. That's the thing I'm not sure about.
That would be doable because you will have forces to the north and the south, but if you have a lot of Sun Elves and not many Planivar, you won't have much support up to the north, unless you basically want to take, like, Snow and Peep are up north, and maybe even Vincent and then Sabriel with the Sun Elves is down south or something. So you have more clout. That's up to you.
Yeah, Sabriel would stay with the Sun because he's their commander, so he'd have to. I mean, if Sabriel stays to the south with the Sun Elf units, the 2 Sun Elf units, and then you guys all go to the north with the druids and whomever else shows up, because is Ballard's joining this too?
Ballard
right?
and Cal are, like, involved, but not on the battlefield.
Okay.
Mechanically. They are here doing things, but not in the fight you're necessarily having.
Yeah. I'm okay with Sabriel being by himself for now, because you guys will have Vincent up there helping heal, and you've got the druids because they've got healing. So you wouldn't be without a healer if Sabriel has to stay to the south.
So it's gonna be how many units of 2 units of Sun Elves and then how many of Planavar?
That would leave you with just one Planavar.
Just one.
Yeah, they would be coming down on alongside a frozen river, whereas the Sun Elves would be on the other side.
3 Planavar and 1 Sun Elf, or 2 and 1, or 5 Planavar and no Sun Elf.
Yeah,
I think we could do. I think we do 2 Sun Elves, 1 Planavar, but we should then just have like everyone except Sabriel. We have Peep,
With the
Vincent,
Planavar.
and Snow go with the Planavar. That way we have the 3 of us and the unit of Planavar to support us. Probably be fine. And then the Sun
And
Elves
if I
then listen.
need to, Sabriel's on a flying mount, so I can.
Yeah.
you will be
I
able to
can go
move
back.
much faster.
You could
Yeah.
like come and help us if needed. So I think that sounds good. Like 2 units of Sun Elves would definitely be good to just like push forward without much help, hopefully. With Sabriel leading them, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't even know how much, like how strong they're gonna be. That you can never tell in something like this. All I know is what you'll have and what you'll
Listen.
face.
I've had entire units smashed in Total Warhammer 2 and Total
Yep.
War because the
Yep.
AI was like, this unit's really strong, even though it has no experience.
Well, you are the AI in this fight. I am not controlling these other units, so this will be on you guys. Okay, so your day's ride is over. On the morn, you would be able to see. There would be some of the Planavar druids, like a scouting party, up on the hill that is past this frozen river where the Planavar are ready. Just so you know where they are, you can see the primordial gate in the distance. You can see the way that it's warped all this land closer. There's so much snow covering all, because it's still winter, that the true kind of way the quakes have affected the ground, you can't completely tell, but there are just areas where it's almost like glassy and flat with the snow covering it. But there are still some forests which will give you cover, and roads and things like that. In the Upside Down Tavern, you can even see from the south would approach this part of High Thundral, this garden, which would be, basically a separate island of several buildings, towers, that sort of thing, that would be flying a little off the ground. Also, at the same time, Balord with the tower, Sabriel's tower would go, and they would join, and seal up together. The garden is pretty imposing. This big thing flying. It would even probably have a couple of a waterfall that trickles off of it and stuff like that. But it's essentially the Sun Elven equivalent of a what's the word? But like a boarding boat for breaching a beach, that kind of thing. It's got a hunker and the soldiers in there, just ready to go. So I guess it's the any other planning, any role play you want to do before everything goes buck fuck wild, I guess.
Are we what time of day is this?
It's morning. This is the morning. You would have camped just before you got here to the approach, around the gate. You are pretty much getting ready to set up 1,000 feet away.
Okay.
Almost literally.
This seeing the reality of what this is that we're facing, Vincent will approach Sabriel. It's a quite an overwhelming task we put ourselves before.
Sarah's like, not really. Perhaps.
I know that you are someone of great power. And I've heard tales of miracles happening to those who've passed. I don't know if you've reached that point in your training. I would assume so in your advanced years, but if it comes to that, don't waste that on me.
Does Sabriel get where he's coming from with this?
That's up to you.
Okay.
I would say, I think, even amongst the Sun Elves, you know, bringing someone back to life is not really possible, mostly culturally. I think technically they would be of an appropriate power level, but they kind of believe if you die in battle, you've died, you know, well, go off, see the ancestors, be the ancestors, you know? But it's up to you whether you...
Go harass Sabriel.
Yeah. Go to Valdiar! Sure, just heaven for Sun Elves.
Except for when you're, you know, the face. He nods. He nods. If that is your request, then I will oblige.
Excellent. If it is
I
my
was gonna
fate
have him say, be like, well, tell the others Sun Elves so that they don't try and, you know, help you, but, I'm the only one besides Cal.
If it is my fate to die in this battle, then that's where I belong. And he just has this kind of like weird, serene smile on his face, and you can kind of see that he's just coming to the reality that this may be the end. It may not be, but if it is, then it's meant to be that.
Sabriel just nods. He actually pats Vincent on the shoulder. Is like, as old as I am, I probably would be of the same mindset by this point, but I have things that I have to take care of, so I cannot allow that to happen to myself yet.
I understand. Vincent was gonna go just kind of set off somewhere and polish his weapons and his armor and get them ready for combat.
Sabriel's gonna go hug and kiss his family.
Yeah. So I imagine this is like essentially the rest of you see of Sabriel, because Sabriel's going to take off to that garden and probably come down, you know, swinging with the Sun Elves. So yeah, Sabriel can go off and you know, get wishes of luck from Alina and Caravale, who Caravale is, you know, arranging the peoples, the Sun Elf troopers. Ballard would give Sabriel a hearty squeeze on the bum. Like,
Saw that coming.
yeah, I think our brains work very similarly, Ori. What can I say? With the same person. And he would just be... you know what? Ballard wouldn't even say anything. That's all he needs to say. It's a squeeze on the bum and a solid nod. The Sun Elves are ready for war.
That's a promise for later.
War makes Sun
Cal
Elves
does the
horny,
same
not canon. Canon
Cal
facts.
does the
Put that on
same
the
shit.
wiki.
I will.
I mean, it is like one of those things where they, did you say like if they have purpose, which can be war, then that's what makes them grow stronger and
Yeah.
presumably grow more fertile,
Yep. Literally true. Unfortunately,
beacons will
these
be
three
lit.
are there's no woman involved in their fertile activities later on.
There's a well.
No.
No.
There could be, but there
She's
won't be.
excluded. Oh wow.
The sun must become one again.
Now I see.
The three phases of the sun must become one again.
Yeah. I like how never has the party asked what the three faces of the sun mean. It's never come up. Anyway,
Sabrel would just point at him, Cal, and back.
no, I know. Or like point to a statue or something. That would actually be. It would be what's in the middle of this garden. It's like a flying island of Columbia going to battle. There would be this statue which has three, like this figure that has three, faces on each side of the head.
Each one eerily
Each one
looks
is
like
the armor faces, and some would say each one kind of looks like Sabriel, Cal, and Ballord, but that's just a theory. So, any of Vincent, Peeps, and Snow, and the Planivar, you are here at the edge of this frozen river where, the Planivar aren't really coming with, like, supplies or, like the reason why the Sun Elves have this, like, garden here is because they're, like, ready for, like, a long war. Planivar are, like, here with, some of them might have, like, a hobo sack on the end of their axe, They've got maybe, like, a packed lunch. Yeah! They're just kind of here, like, they're ready. There's some games going on, like, throwing snowballs. They are remarkably relaxed and chill while everything is getting ready. But is there anything you guys want to do before war? The answer can be no, and we can start the final battle. We'll probably only do a little bit today, but there would also be a lot of prep, I think, like getting in positions and seeing enemy formations and things like that. And bear in mind, I'll allow you to yell over 60, 120 feet or so, but with Sabriel, you'll have to rely on send messages over such long a distance, because you guys right now are over 800 feet apart.
Let me make sure my spells are sorted.
Did they bring?
Good idea.
Seeing the relaxed nature of the Planivar, Vincent wants to join in and sort of use that fast friends to kind of befriend some of them so that they can respect him as an equal in the coming battle.
Yeah.
So that if he starts shouting out commands at them or something, they don't have any second thoughts about it. So he's just trying to get in good with them.
Did we bring? Did the elves bring Grim or Goldie?
No. Well,
no. Really?
They may have brought
Do we have Goldie?
Goldie?
Here's the thing: Sabriel wouldn't ask this question, would he?
No.
Snow's asking it, and Snow is down here a long ways away.
Yeah, Snow thinks to himself at one point, he's like, I wonder if Goldie's going to join the battle. See,
Sabriel probably wouldn't ask.
No.
Unless Cal brought it up when he was up there talking to him. And I don't think Cal would, so...
Cal wouldn't bring it up. But there is a, like, almost a deliberate plot hole that may be understood in the future, which answers this one.
What?
You'll have to ask after the battle, I guess.
I still like the idea of Grim riding the giant skeletal bear as they drop from the castle onto the enemy.
The bear's not that big.
That's true. It's just a normal bear. I mean, yeah, I don't think Snow would have much. He would just be focused on preparing for the battle ahead. Yeah.
Okay. In which case, if you all are all ready, the battle can begin. So, before we're going to roll initiative or anything, I will probably basically have to do a little bit of a tour of the battlefield, because it's clear. There's no weather conditions or anything, and I also need to set up this camera screen so it makes sense. But as I have stated, this is essentially like a 1,000 foot distance, like between the edge and the gate here, right? The gate circle looms largely and has the ruined town up around it. You guys are up here, and the pretty sun elves are down here. And as, you know, sun elf boots are hitting the ground, like Pegasi are dropping them off and things, that's when you would sense rumbling in the ground and shrieking in the air. As much as you can tell, this unit essentially represents something under the ground. Like, the ground is moving, but, like, very visually. It's not subtle. Like, things are being thrown all over the place. And, for here, it seems to be basically, almost from afar, like swarms of bats, kind of. The ring itself, the inside is swirling with amber energy at this point. You can see it. It's like, it would look like a portal if it went anywhere, but it doesn't. You know, it's just all the power seeping from the other realm and the gate stone just into this sort of mess. All the energy sort of radiating out this side. With that in mind, you guys up north have your frozen river. There is, of course, these roads as well, and these little pockets of forest. You know, I try to make it kind of clear which squares are technically forest cover. It's not just like 2 trees. It's like little, you know, quite a bit of trees. These hills as well, you know, are tall enough to give advantage or to get cover behind. Whereas Snow and the Sun Elves, you have farmland. You know, that doesn't really give you any advantage or disadvantage. But you do have some tree cover as well. With that in mind, do any of you want to start the battle as the commander of a unit? Usually it is an action to basically take command of a unit, and that means you will be basically moving on. It will be moving and you will be acting on its turn, but you can give it, with bonus actions, advantage. Maybe give it advantage on things. It's charisma checks. Or you can just sort of leave
to clarify for the commander stuff, do
Mhm.
we still get our normal action? If
You get
we're
your
embedded
action,
in
you just wouldn't be able to move separately. I think is the easy, like, the specific rules aren't very clear, but I think we'd use a bit like how we've sometimes been using mounts, where it's like, okay, basically, they are moving, and you are acting inside there. You have your normal action, and then as a bonus action, you can give a command. You can give a command to basically defend, attack, or the morale one's actually kind of included in the morale system now. So
Okay.
I wouldn't mind taking command of them if they would be willing to listen to me.
oh yeah, absolutely. They descend. The plan of are so chill. They're essentially listening to anyone. So for that purposes, you know, you are essentially both one right now.
Yeah.
And you are
Sabra-
embedded in the unit. Command one of them.
Sabra will. Yeah.
Okay. In which case, start rolling initiative. If I can get the camera to behave.
Do we roll our initiative separate from? The
Yeah,
units,
you will
or-
be, because you can remove from the unit. Are these going through? Oh, there they are. Sometimes it takes a sec.
They're just being really slow. I'm moving him off of that so I can roll the initiative. Oh shit! I rolled the wrong. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. I'm done. Ignore me.
Yes, if you could roll initiative for the plan of our Zach, that'd be great.
Do you want me to roll 2 separate initiatives for this?
No,
one?
because it's like monster rules. They basically count as
That's
the
what I
same.
figured.
Yeah. Don't want to make it too stress crazy.
It did not go onto the tracker.
That's fine. I can do it.
The planet bar, do they have a an icon on the map?
Yeah, it's under you right now. So if you move yourself a step, but because you're the commander,
are we
you would be
using
on.
their initiative while we're embedded or ours?
They move and act. You move with them. You have your own turn, where if you move, you leave them without them. So
Got it.
you essentially move for free. Oh man, the Planavar are ready. They're ready.
Pumped.
This is why you play like a little game of rugby before the war. That's why. It gets you a 21 initiative. Okay, so...
We're warmed up over here. We're warmed up. We're ready to go.
Which is... Yeah, and it's super useful too because first rounds are mostly going to be, you know, positioning. So with that in mind, with your group of Planavar, where do you want to take them? You still move dash just like normal. It's the same amount of squares. It's just you're doing it over a longer period of time, right? So you still have 6 squares of movement. It's just way more movement, right?
Right. So they have a speed of 30, which means they can move 1 square or 2 on a dash.
No, they move 6 squares because each turn is longer.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
you move the same amount, you
It's all
attack the same ways. It's just bigger.
Does the water look like it's going to give them, like...
No, that's totally fine. It's especially for those guys. They have no issue on a.
And I move with them, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And I'm gonna have them. I can have them dash, right?
Mm-hmm. And you would go with them, basically.
And that would be my turn.
So Vincent and the Planavar just sort of dash towards, and this is the tavern, the upside down tavern that Peep fought a giant in. That was essentially outside of the town, so it's safe from the destruction and stuff. You and the group of Planavar who are now kind of getting a bit more ready for war, than less palling around, can head directly west and kind of almost rejoin this road. And then it's actually your turn, Vincent. You can't get them to move, but you could ready any kind of spell. Bear in mind that when it comes to spell timings, each turn is a minute. So some spells that will last quite a long time usually will last less time in a mass battle. You can also use a bonus action to basically ready these guys' next... If they're going to attack or defend on their next turn. You can ready that.
So I will use. That's a bonus action. I want to use my bonus action for something else, actually. So I will do, instead of that one, I will do. If I cast Bless, would it do anything to the unit as a whole?
Yeah, each unit essentially consider it one person. So if you had range on more people, which I don't think you, because the range doesn't change.
Right.
So essentially you would bless you and the unit.
Okay.
Which would be good.
Although that Bless only lasts for a minute.
Yeah, so it only lasts a turn, which makes it less useful. If you have one of those spells that lasts 10 minutes for some reason, super useful in a mass combat. Bless might be useful if you know some shit's going down in the next minute, but you don't know what how the elementals and things are going to move, or even necessarily what you're facing right now, because they're so abstract and distant.
So what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to use my action to cast Bear's Endurance on myself. And that's going to give me advantage on con saves and give me 2d6 temporary hit points, which are lost when the spell ends. And enhanced ability is concentration up to an hour, so it should last for 60 turns or whatever.
Yeah, we don't need to track that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big battle. It could last 60 turns. but I don't think we're going to worry about that. All right. With that, and with that, like, kind of almost for roleplay reasons, as you're there and you're kind of like blessing yourselves, the Planevar are doing something kind of similar. There would be kind of almost a war preparedness like stance that's almost dance-like that they're readying. Sun Elf movement phase.
So we can still dash.
Yeah, it's just you and the unit you're embedded in are moving together.
Okay.
Can I use my bonus action to give them is there morale something or other?
So you can prepare or incite. And there's a morale one, but morale is kind of its own system now. So preparing they're both charisma checks, either intimidation or persuasion. And preparing gives advantage on saving throws until your next turn, the end of your next turn, and incite gives them advantage on attack rolls until your next turn.
Okay. Well, in that case, we're kind of out in the open, so I'm going to try to prepare them.
Okay, give me a persuasion or intimidation check.
Oof.
They are way more busy with their own things right now, I guess.
Fair enough.
Like, you're like trying to like rally them up, and they're like, whoa, whoa, yeah, like doing their own shit.
All right. You finish that first, and then we'll talk. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm right behind you.
All right. Crusader turn.
I just moved them. Dashed them.
Oh, okay. Shit, I don't even need to worry about it.
Would that dash doesn't take Sabriel's action, it takes the Sun Elves' action.
Yeah. You essentially are moving with them. You will still have your action. You just won't have your movement. Easiest way to do it.
My action until my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's all they're gonna do. Do I have to do anything morale-wise right now?
Nope. You guys are funky fresh. The Sun Elves are ready. The Planevar are off there in the north, like, readying their war dances and getting hype and maybe even, like, applying, like, poultices to the end of their war axes. The Sun Elves are just, running through the snow.
I intend on
calmly.
magic weaponing us, but...
Yeah, well, that is wise. But they aren't, you don't need to worry about anything like that right now. Alright. These elementals will start moving. They are fast. But not fast enough to actually get to Vincent and the Planevar in one turn. Basically, you just see this, like, rumbling of Earth getting closer and closer and closer. And occasionally you do see just Earth Elemental shapes. Not as big as, like, the Earth Elemental you fought in the village before. Similar in size to the Geists, but they're much heartier. And they almost are diving and moving and almost swimming through the ground at max pace. But they do not actually get to attack you this turn. Actually, because of that, they will actually not get into melee. They will kind of circle you. Yeah, they're gonna circle around up onto the top of the hill. These ones near the Sun Elves are going to... They're gonna go for the Scragglers. Yeah, and they're gonna circle. Rather than go in for the... They're not going in for the attacks yet. Moving incredibly quickly. Snow.
Okay. Snow looks down at Peep and is like...
And right now, both Snow and Peep are technically tiny, normal peoples. For the size of the battlefield.
Snow looks over at Peep and is like, are you ready to fight?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. I want to know, Ollie, could I use my action to just pick up Peep and carry Peep up?
Yes, it would. You would have the same penalties you usually do, which means you move at half speed while carrying someone.
Oh, okay.
Even though I'm
Which
small.
is still quite a lot, but I don't think your speed is fast enough yet to actually mean that's a benefit, really.
The
Yeah, I
problem
mean,
is,
it's still gonna take you
yeah.
time to get into combat either way, so...
Yeah, so wait, would I sell my action to dash, though? Or that would take my action to pick up, and then...
Yeah, it would be action to pick Peep up and then
Okay.
running.
In that case, I think I will just run myself then. So that I can also chuck a javelin or something. Actually, do I have the range? Let's find out.
You probably won't with a javelin.
It's like I think it's 120 max. It's just that I would have disadvantage. Let's look. 120, and then I can move. So, sorry. So, all right. Well, so yeah, I'm gonna start moving up. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's my normal movement. I have base 40.
Yeah, you move the same speed as these
Yeah.
these sort of swimming rock elementals on defense.
Then, yeah, I'm still.
Yeah, 300 feet away.
Okay. Well, I guess here's the thing, though. I'm gonna rage
Yeah.
with a bonus action, which brings my movement speed up by another 15 normally, which is another 3. So another 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna action dash.
Okay.
So then I get all of that again.
Yeah. I was just looking up the rules they have in the system for hills. I don't think these hills are steep enough that they give any kind of movement penalty. You know, the blasted zone around the ring, yeah, if you're moving on the ground, it's definitely difficult terrain. I think climbing up a hill in this scale, fine. Maybe
Okay.
might be difficult terrain for Peep. Everyone else, fine.
Yeah. So Snow is literally just gonna run up. How many of these things are there in the unit?
So a unit is around 10. I think for the Planivar, it's probably more like 12.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But this is around 10 or so of these swimming elementals.
Okay.
And you can get
So
them
is
as they're
this-
kind of preparing to dash down. You kind of almost catch them by surprise.
Yeah, Snow is literally just gonna charge and let out like a roar, like ah! Like he wants to draw their attention, and he's just gonna
Okay.
like basically dive into a spot where they're just gonna be all around him.
Nice.
Yeah, this has never turned out poorly in the past. That'll be it for him.
Okay, these swarms are going to start moving. From here, they just sort of look like clouds. As they get closer, they are essentially like bats and imps and things made of stone, like flying swarms of bats and imps and stone, and all made of stone and sand, all just kind of carrying this miasma of the corrupt element. And basically the same sort of thing. They are literally like flying from the ring, almost made from the floating stone and sand that's all around it. It just kind of comes together and sends out in these two swarms, which you can see quite clearly, Peep, as it's your turn.
Yes, Peep will. Seeing Snows went with Vincent, deal with those ones. There's a lot more in the center. Peep is gonna head to meet up with the Sun Elves. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Can't
6.
resist Daddy.
Mhm. And then may as well just dash. So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, everyone is going to be dashing on turn one. That's, you know, when you're having 1,000-foot square battle map, everyone's dashing. Yeah, it's like, what's that small moving thing in the snow? Oh, it's Peep. And Sabrael's probably like flying above the unit and can like see this like
A line of snow just moving.
Yeah, I did a little bit. Like the element's looking like, what the fuck is that thing? And just like,
Like
it
a-
zooms in, and it's like the Halo theme.
yeah.
It's like a fucking Pomeranian just going. It's
Yeah.
like a Pac-Man. It's a Pac-Man.
Meanwhile, Peep is actually humming his own theme music.
Yeah.
Peeps
Peeps a
humming
bard,
the
he just doesn't
Imperial
know yet.
March.
Daryl.
Dun 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 dun.
For the record, this one's for you, my crowd. Come on, they're just running.
You don't feel anything yet. No sparkles.
Yeah.
Sabriel.
So
you got no
Have a
movement, but you do
question.
an action. Yep.
Magic weapon. It says one weapon. Because I'm in a unit.
Oh, it would be
that
a whole
just
unit, but what's
Okay.
the duration of it?
An hour.
Yeah, so you could cast it on this unit of Sun Elves. Basically.
Okay, I'm trying to decide.
It's like you imagine in the moment you are able to muster, a full, a grander spell and enhance the entire platoon.
Okay. We can't hit on a diagonal, right?
Not unless you have reach.
I'm not gonna cast magic weapon yet. I can't count. My dyslexia is getting me
You know
hardcore.
what I should do?
Hold on.
I should make you
1,
all
2, 3,
smaller
4,
tokens
5,
so that I can
6.
see the soldiers easier.
Yeah.
I mean, I made these tokens for the soldiers. And I can't even see them. Scrungle.
Ah!
Yeah, sorry,
I was
I
counting!
did that. I know.
Yo, are these things like the
Ah!
Grundle?
Hold on, I gotta get back where I was.
Some kind of Grundle man, maybe.
Yeah, more Grundle
I actually was gonna
is
say that. I was gonna have the plan of our say. It was like, we would take on any Grundle. Because I've been listening to Snow, but I totally forgot
Let's
to have them say that
go.
at the party. It's
Okay,
not the
so
Sun
I did-
Elves. It's not the Sun Elves' turn. They ain't moving yet.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was your action.
Brain.
No, sorry.
Wow, why am I going diagonally? Sabriel, what's happening?
Sabriel's flying
uh,
while drunk. Not okay.
Sabriel's confused.
Yeah,
Ori's
so
confused, Sabriel's confused.
on your turn. It's Sabriel's action and bonus action.
Can I hold an action? I'm not gonna do magic weapon yet. Can I hold an action to guiding bolt whichever one of these two bumblefucks gets within 120 feet?
Of you? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna hold an action guiding bolt. That way, that's when it's Sun Elf turn, they can get advantage on
Yeah.
smacking the shit out of whichever one.
With that in mind, do you want to do a prepare or insight on the unit you're commanding, which will give them either advantage on saving throws or attacks?
Yes.
Saves or attacks?
We'll do saves because the guiding bolt will give advantage on
Yeah.
attacks if they
Give
can
me
hit,
a
so-
persuasion or intimidation check. Okay, yeah. They are shields up. Ready while you are readying to like you're there with the bow ready, basically. Above
With his
them.
bow
the
of
Pegasus.
sunlight.
Yeah. I mean, it's a badass moment. Put it in the card game.
I'm gonna draw it.
Next up is the Planavar.
Okay, so the Planavar are going to use their bonus action first, and they're just going to vanish from view.
Yes. Which, funny enough, I think doesn't include Vincent.
It does not.
Yeah.
Just looks around and goes,
It's like,
"Really, guys?"
There was like 12 people
Gosh.
there, and suddenly there's just Vincent.
Well, can't they just grab Vincent and pull him with
No,
them?
it's not. That's not how invisibility works anyway, but especially not this
Oh,
time.
it's
But Vincent
not
is moving
like
with them
tree
still.
striding or something. It's
No,
just
yeah.
invisibility.
It's
You're
basically-
moving with them as they're like jostling you while they're
He's
invisible. and you're like,
Aragorning
oh,
it
boy.
with the ghosts.
Basically.
He's just gonna run up, and him and Sabriel are
Yeah,
Aragorning
that's
it with.
true. Yeah, he's running up like and then they all like yeah.
But they're gonna go invisible, and then they're gonna charge that the pack of elementals that's right there, and
Yeah.
using that invisibility to their their advantage.
Yeah, they'll get advantage as they appear, just swinging axes at these guys who are already, like, distracted. Guys. I say guys, it's just a raw force of primordialness, right? It's not even something that your people can comprehend as people. And that is a hit. Just barely. I mean, these are earth elementals, so it's high AC, so that is going to be a hit. Nice. There is a really, like, there's a triumphant sound of the Planavar, like, roaring as they appear out of invisibility on this charge up a hill. You know, they should never get away with it. But we played Total War. We know that's a foolish idea. But he gets away with it when you're invisible. And then there is just a horrible sound of, like, the metal of their axes crunching against metal and stone. And it you know, sends chips off of a lot of these elementals as they're kind of like, they were ready to turn against snow, starting to deal damage to them. Okay.
All right.
Great shit. Is then Vincent next? So you could make it just a start attacking yourself, or what else?
Yes, I will start swinging at these elementals myself as well. So I'll take 2 strikes at them.
Mm-hmm.
I was not invisible, so I do not have advantage.
Both hit.
I will pump a smite into each of those.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
And just for like I guess my clarification. So like since this is like representing like each round is like a minute, right? So the idea is that these attack rolls are representing like he's just like Vincent is just going to town.
Yeah. You as individuals are incredibly epic in this scale, right?
Yeah.
Like, you are there with the plan of our army, but you are, I mean, mathematically have done like triple what they've done as you're here, and especially the smites, because like your blade has not just been enchanted by the Planavar, you know, so it like kind of clatters against these like faces of stone, but when you pump in the divine strength into it, it's just starts blowing chunks out of them, and you basically can like strike one and blow one up and strike another and blow another one up, and the number of, if you could even count things as individuals when you're fighting elementals, goes down to essentially half, even less than that of what they had before, at 40%.
Vincent is just hacking them up.
Yeah.
And then with my bonus action, I will try yet again to get the Planavar's attention. Good strikes all. Watch out though, watch out for that one.
You're like a football coach. Nope.
Really?
It's
Right.
I'll tell you, because it's not like you're fighting against anything. It's a DC 15 to get advantage. But which really you have way better perception than this. You should be able to do it. But
there's no downside though, at least. So it's like
there's no downside of it unless you have something else to do with bonus action. It's kind of just like
I'm-
it's essentially a free thing you could do as a commander, which is neat. Sun Elf's turn.
Also, I put an aura on Sabrael so I could count.
See
from
where-
120 feet.
Smart, very smart, too smart. What do you want to do with the Sun Elf?
Well, I'm counting. I'm struggling with counting today. 1, 2.
Well, to be fair, it makes it easier if you have a certain type of brain, because it's like the squares. But I also know it could be more complicated for different brains.
Well,
I do it because it's easy for me.
Usually I'm fine. Today is a bad day for the dyslexias. 1, 2.
Bad day for the dyslexia.
5.
I say that as someone who does often say, and I've been called out by my chat for being like, oh, but my joint pain.
Sabrael,
I can't
since
work
they're
today,
now
I got the joint
within
pain.
the 120, can I go ahead and use the... Would
It's
that
a
trigger it,
little...
or...
let's say it triggers it on their turn.
Okay.
Because it's like as they're moving towards you more realistically.
Yeah, I didn't think about moving the other elves. I'm gonna have everybody hold their action to attack pretty much
Until they
get
are
within
charged.
range.
So you're like preparing like a counter charge, basically.
Yeah. Do I need to do the morale again?
No, their morale. I will. If their HP goes below half, which you can see, that's when morale's a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Whenever they take damage, that would make them be below half health.
So they're still
Morale
holding
checks.
their.
And as
shield
Sun
up,
Elves, they also
preparing.
have yes. And as Sun Elves, you also have advantage on morale checks because it's basically the same rule that like the Space Marines have in Warhammer, and it's bullshit in that. And I thought it should be bullshit in this because Sun Elves are fucking ready, rearing to go. That said, with me giving them all the advantage, we'll probably lose some Sun Elves to morale, and it will be very shameful for the ancestors. But the Sun Elves are still defensive. They will be defending until the end of your turn.
Both groups or just the one?
Just the one. Only the one you're commanding has these bonuses. The other one is like, yeah, you're commanding that one, but not.
If they start looking in
Enough.
trouble, I'll go over to them. But
Yeah. Okay.
that's a holding action.
The elemental swimming through stone. I'll do the attack against the Sun Elves first. They kind of swirl in the snow, and they would really be digging up. You know, they'd be throwing snow into the air, not our character snow, the physical thing that is snow. And then they would prepare this thunderous charge that gains so much momentum. I'm going to need the Sun Elves to make a strength saving throw. Or dexterity, whichever's better. You get to choose.
The sheet's bugging out.
Now you know how I feel when I have to, like, use Grim
Strength.
or something.
Well, I mean, I DM too, so I get it, but it's like I was trying to resize it and it was moving.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
staying
a
attached
big
to my
mistake. Resizing a window?
Well,
What are you
no,
doing?
it resized itself, so I couldn't see anything. So I was trying to fix it. I'll do strength.
Actually, what's
I had
the...
advantage on. No, not on
Yeah.
that one. Never mind.
What's the
On the other one.
What's the AC of the Sun Elves?
19.
They you don't need to make a save because the elementals do not hit a 19. They charge up and get ready, and these are the ones you aren't even particularly commanding, but they are Sun Elves in heavy armor with shields, each one wearing armor that has been forged 400 years ago. Each of these elves probably around 400 years old as well. They are prepared against such things, and as the elementals go, there would be like yells in Celestial, and kind of like a shield wall would be prepared, and the swimming elementals, as they go and they charge out of the ground with like their arms in the air to slam down, it just like clangs against shields and things like that. And if a Sun Elf kind of starts getting tired, they'll be kind of held back, and another one kind of gets in the way, just defending against the whole maneuver. Will Vincent be so lucky, because it's going to attack Vincent up in north? Yes, because this also doesn't hit your AC. So, you are defending against essentially the entire swarm of these creatures successfully.
Do you want me to go ahead and do my held action for the one Sun Elf?
It hasn't entered your circle yet, really.
No,
Oh no, because you were going 120 range, so yeah, that is actually within 120, isn't it?
No, not
yes, go ahead.
Sabrel. The Sun Elf.
Oh right, you may. I didn't think you did this one as well. Yes, go ahead. My bad. I thought you were just doing that for the one you are commanding. That has to be a hit. There's no nothing else it could be.
Let's say if it's not, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, even for a boss fight, I'm not putting you against AC 25. What is the case of though that they have, resistance to non-magical damage. But that's fine. It's still a lot of damage as it adds up. Okay. As things are starting to come to blows, but you guys have suffered, no injuries at all. It is Snow's turn.
Okay. Snow. I will take an opportunity attack if I try to circle around it, right? Like if I go
If they
here-
choose to use your reaction against you,
I'm gonna.
no, not if
you
if
know
you're actually
what?
going to circle them like that, you won't take an opportunity attack. If you basically end in their area of influence like that when you're circling, I don't bother because
Okay. Yeah, I
you can
guess because I have
reposition a
enough
little bit.
movement, I could just kind of go like take the extra move to go diagonal, basically. Anyways. Okay. Yeah. In that case, you know, I just realized that I actually my rage wore off because I didn't make an attack. I dashed and they didn't attack me.
Oh,
I was
you just
expecting an
raged
attack.
to run up the hill
Yeah.
and nothing else.
He was like, ah. But you know what? That's okay. I have 3 rages. I'm gonna burn another. Do I want? Yeah, I'll burn another one. Yeah.
Do you want to burn another one now? Because right now
You know
you're
what? I'm not
seeing
going
these
to.
guys. They are not
Yeah.
doing much damage to you or the Sentinels you can see far away. Because you know you have this like moment of clarity because you're not raging. You can see that these guys are not hitting hard. It
Yeah.
looks like, I mean, you understand they are essentially a charging unit, and you have forced them to be unable to charge.
Yeah, and
Here.
Vincent basically kind of like roasted a couple already of this group. So, yeah, all right. So you know what? Like kind of like getting up to this a little bit higher on the hill than them, like looking down over the battlefield as it's developing. Snow's gonna realize like now is not a time to expend all his energy. So, he's just gonna swing twice without rage. No reckless attack. I guess. Well, I have advantage.
What weapon
from,
are you
from-
using? You would have advantage from flanking.
Oh, that's true. I don't know if Snow would be like smart enough to really know that they have.
Yeah, maybe
magic.
not.
So I think for this first turn, probably Greatsword, and then if there's any visual cues, maybe he'll switch. But all right, so let's attack.
That is a hit.
Okay, and it'll just be that damage. There you go.
You have another attack.
Okay.
That is another hit as well, and
Oh,
it's
that's good.
enough damage that as you kind of sweep in, even though you're attacking with a long sword, a great sword that is not magical, you are just like crunching through these things. Actually, they may not go down. They do. They have the zombie thing, but no, that is
Yeah.
definitely enough to send enough crumbling to bits. The bits, even if they can move, they're like, they kind of don't.
Yeah.
They pose no threat.
Yeah, and Snow will yell out a plan of our war cry to try and rally his.
Let's
his
fucking go.
kin, yeah. And then I guess he'll use his movement too. Might as well.
Yes.
Let's
Leroy
go.
Jenkins.
1, 2.
They did charge
3,
in.
4, 5,
That's
6.
gonna be like Snow next
7.
session. Be like looking at the portal. Be like, let's do this.
Yeah. He runs up to here, and then he's clearly gonna try to meet up with Peep in the middle of the battlefield.
Okay.
But as he's going, he takes a peek inside the tavern to see if there's a grundle in there. No,
There's no grundle in the tavern. But good. Yeah. No. It's always worth checking your tavern for a grundle. I've been saying it for years.
Yeah, that's all.
All right. Stone Bat's turn. They were swarming towards Peep, but Snow. Yes. Hello. Were you trying to get my attention, Ori, or were you just making gremlin noises? No. Okay. I'm so confused.
I was stretching my arm.
Oh, I thought you would like. Many a time during a big combat, have people raised their hand to try and get my attention, like we're like a school class. So
No, but this one will trigger by held actions, but that's not important right now.
Swarm of Stone Bats is going to swoop down around Snow. Actually, they are a swarm, so they will be in Snow space, but they don't get an attack right now. This one will move towards Sabriel, and so that you will get to do a guiding bolt against them.
And the Sun Elves are gonna attack it.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find my guiding bolt, I've lost it. No!
All this hype up, we're holding the bow ready.
Eh.
Whiffed. That is also a miss.
Boys.
F.
As the
Yeah.
swarm readies around,
Plan
it's
of our
going to be
rectum.
a big old miss. And also, more I'm going to summon from the ring. From the constant aura around a ring of building and growing stone. It kind of crumbles together into more of those minor bat-like elementals. Peep.
Okay. Peep's gonna assume that Sabriel and the Sun Elves and then the other group of Sun Elves can handle those two little groups. So Peep is going to just head straight for the portal. So it's like 10, 20, 30, and then dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's it.
Sabriel.
Sabriel is going to seeing Peep going for it by himself. Is it an action for me to disengage from the...
I would say you can leave a unit for free, but it takes a full action to join one. I think you can basically... It's almost like you use your reaction to leave, I guess would actually be how we'd count it. I think that makes sense. Are you going to fly majestically out of the unit upon Pegasus' back?
I'll take an opportunity attack.
Oh, opportunity of bats!
I'm gonna disengage from the unit.
Yeah.
One. And I've got...
Are you going to take the
Zealous
disengage
movement.
action?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to part from the unit. I'm going to move... Zelius has 90 feet of movement, so I can move 180 feet.
No, more than that. 90 would mean you move...
Oh shit, yeah, you're right. Hold on, I gotta count.
It would be 18 squares as a movement.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can get all the way up to the ring if I do that.
Makes sense. You are on a Pegasus.
Zellius the second, go. Oh, I meant to... Never mind. It's stupid. Never mind.
I'm gonna move 90. I'm gonna move just to see if I get the opportunity attack.
Yeah, you will, and it will hit.
Okay.
The stone bats will deal 4 piercing damage to you as you basically fly through the swarm.
Okay, so 4 to me or Zelius?
To you, I'm just gonna kind of like count Zelius as your move speed here. So we're already counting so many other things. I'm probably not going to attack Zelius.
Do I have anything that can reach that far to hit the goddamn ring? 300.
Clean number.
What's the range on my longbow?
I believe 300 with disadvantage.
I don't
like literally
use it. What's the... I don't want Peep to be alone.
Well, you're with Peep now. You could always just...
150 to 600. So would that be...
It would be disadvantage, yeah.
Okay. Alright. I'm not used to using a longbow.
They
was not
based.
Okay, I'm just gonna say fuck it. Actually, I'm gonna stay where I'm at, and I'll just use the longbow shot.
I imagine you're like 30 feet off the ground, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of where I imagined you were above the Sun Elves. It's a comfortable height. Well, not really, because if you fall, you take a lot of damage. But let's not worry about that right now.
No.
You fire towards the ring, and the arrow goes out of sight, and who knows?
Ariel doesn't use a bow very often. That's
That's where we're going to end off today's session. But at the top of the turn order, I'm not even fudging anything. Literally under the ground, under Peep and Sabriel, right fucking between them,
fucking damn it.
a unit of full-size earth elementals, each one as large as the ones you fought in the city, just as the ring pulses again. And they are full and fresh of amber energy, and they do just kind of dig out of the snow, but also being formed out of the ground under the snow in real time. And literally, both of you just stepped either side of where it was going to pop out, which is great. And I'm actually going to have to roll the action turn order now, because I will forget next time, and we'll go through like 2 turns. You'll be like, why haven't the elementals attacked me? Well, because I didn't roll of initiative, but now I have, and it's 18, and that's great.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
So, next time, war. But that'll be for next time.
I almost used my bonus or my action to go pick Peep up. I almost went and picked Peep up.
That was fantastic. So much fun.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Peep.
It's gonna be,
really
like I said, it really just the setup for this battle next week to close the ring, or perhaps have the ring close you. But that's where we leave it this time. As always, we'll be back next week, all things going according to plan. This is where we talk a little about what you guys have going on. I'm gonna stop this like depressing anxiety sound real quick. I'll put on something a little more calm, and we will start with Zach.
So I have got my first Pathfinder 2e one-shot cast, and we have set a date to record in early April. So that will be the first major thing that we're doing over on my new YouTube channel, which will be going up around that same time. So keep an ear to the ground. Look out for me on Twitter at NextTTRPG, and I'll be broadcasting when we're going to be doing that. So
Nice. Poetry.
I have been sick all week, but other than that, I've been streaming Elden Ring, and
Of course
tomorrow-
you have.
yeah, no D&D for tomorrow for my normal Sunday game. So instead, everyone should go watch Ori's, assuming.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
next
on
week.
next week.
It's next
Okay.
week.
It's every
Okay.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Go watch the older
but-
session Ori did.
Yeah.
Go back.
But yeah, so I will but yeah, I'll be streaming later tonight, probably some Elden Ring or other stuff too. We'll see. That's all.
All right, other stuff perfectly encapsulates Quills.
Yeah.
Yes. With my memes and all that. Yeah, just the
Yeah.
same stuff. I have started to have an inkling of maybe streaming a little. I streamed a little Destiny last night. I might stream a little bit tonight. We'll see.
Dangerous path.
A dangerous path to go down.
No one would.
like, just like
Streaming's not
Destiny.
cool.
Like-
No one would stream. I mean, streams suck.
I also have had the sad thing of having to remake my voice mod custom voices library because it got corrupted. Apparently, that's a thing that happens, and it's cleared them all out. But other than that, the only other major thing I have going on right now is due to current events, I have started a fundraiser on my YouTube channel. So all of my videos, I think it only let me pick like the last 50, and then every video I'm doing from now on has the fundraiser option next to it, which checking now, it's only what, like 36 hours old, 37 hours old, and we've already raised $2,849.
Wow! Wow!
So that's
Wow!
for the American Red Cross to go and help in Ukraine. So yeah,
that's fantastic.
it's kind of crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to.
All right, and Ori.
Hello, I have commissions open, so commission me so I can eat. And buy medicine.
Both important.
Next week is next week is the next Ghost of Greenwood session on Sunday, and then in what day is it? I don't know my own birthday. In a few weeks, I'm probably gonna do a birthday game stream. I don't know what we're gonna do. Well, we're gonna do something shit posty probably, so we shall see.
Can
what
play
that is.
Gartic phone again.
Yeah, we can do something stupid, or Among Us, or Jackbox, or something. I don't know, or Total War, and shitpost with that. Who knows? Because you can, and I have shitpost many times with Malice Darkblade. Listen, he is the embodiment of that bagel meme where the guy's like possessed by the demon, and the dude's like, "Hey, bro, what do you want?" And the demon's like, "The souls of the innocent." Dude's like, "A bagel." No, 2 bagels. It's Malice Darkblade and Zarkian. Quill's laughing because they know I'm right.
Yeah, that is Malice.
Yeah, that's it. I don't have anything else. Hire me to do art.
All right, and then there's me and this channel. I am doing a bunch of stuff. You should definitely join. Most of the stuff we do is community focused, so I do more when you are here. We are doing the Pokemon Monster Manual project mostly on Fridays, where I illustrate and write and do homebrew of Pokemon at the moment. And also we have another show, Jarviskjir Mind Over Matter, which will be starting chapter 4 at some point. It might be this week, it might be next week. It'll be at some point. If you haven't already, joined the Discord and get up to date. Get on moving and grooving, and we will probably have the finale of this chapter of Rock of the North next week. Don't worry. Assuming that the party doesn't, turn to stone. I got a lot more planned.
So bad.
Like,
for
something about snow turned to stone this week.
No.
Come on.
All right, I'm going now. We out of here.
I had to.